Good evening and salutations, my B&B fans. Okay, so we're going to start off with Sheila and Luna because ever since Luna sexually assaulted Will, Sheila has been doing something that has just been pissing me off. She keeps talking around the subject. Okay. She keeps using words, she keeps saying sentences like, well, Will didn't know that he was actually sleeping with you. He thought he was sleeping with Electra. Sheila, you're smart enough to know that if this man didn't think he was sleeping with his girlfriend, what do you call that? It starts with a C. I don't understand. Like, this is something that Bold and the Beautiful is doing, and it's pissing me off. And I'm gonna be completely honest. I feel like if the situations were reversed and a man did this, right, they will be calling that out right away as what it is, sexually assault. But because it's a woman that's doing it, all she keeps saying is, well, you know, they're really close and it feels like tonight's going to be the night. And, I don't want you to get your hopes up. Are you fucking kidding me? It really like turned my stomach in a sense when this disgusting ass woman sat there and said that she and Will made love. And I'm like, and I know it's going to offend some people, but I'm like, you sick bitch. That's not love. That is fucking rape. And every time, here's the thing: every time she keeps into talking about, oh, me and Will is gonna have a future and this, that, and the third, it physically turns my fucking stomach. It really does. It really turns my goddamn stomach. And I know that I put up when I did a stream, I put up, did it is this story going too far? And I don't feel like it is. I really don't. Let's be honest, sexual assault is a thing in reality, just like lovemaking, just like killing people and stuff like that. And when she was sitting there off in two bodies, I didn't sit there and hear the same uproar. So this whole thing with Will, I don't understand why people are so much up in arms about this, saying that it's gone too far. Now we all know, or we all can assume, Luna's plan is to, because she keeps sitting there saying like she's not worried about going back to jail, and Sheila's like, "Yo, you you have to be careful because if Will finds out, that's who else is going back to prison." But she has a plan, as she said, secret weapon, an ace up her sleeve. That's the fact that she planned on getting pregnant. So you got that going on, right? You have Electra and Will, and Electra and this whole, oh, I'm so glad we took our time and you were so patient. And I'm like, I get real women don't talk like this. Most women do not talk like this. But I can only imagine. See, I think it's because we've been watching in my memory stream, we've been watching a lot of classic soap scenes, right? Classic soap scenes, 90s, 80s, give or take. I've never heard someone talk like they just been on so much fairy dust in my entire life than listening to Luna talk. Now, granted, I think this is just how she normally talks in general throughout the show. But she keeps emphasizing this whole "I'm so glad that you waited for me and I'm the only one" and everything like that because the idea is that when Luna finds out about the truth, she's going to be devastated. And it's going to be really bad because what are you going to be upset about? The only thing I could sit there and her somewhat being a little thrown off is by the fact that he didn't tell her because his mom's is an idiot. But even then, I feel like she's gonna be like, "Oh, I don't even know you," and this, that, and the third. Meanwhile, the dude got sexually assaulted, right? And again, if this was reverse and he found out that she got sexually assaulted and she tells him and he decides to back off, people will be calling him every name up and down the goddamn book, right? You're not there for her. You're not trying to help her through her trauma and stuff. But I feel like this story is gonna go in that direction. And granted, they're not gonna really sit there and show his trauma through it. And the thing that annoys me is he's more worried about her feelings than him dealing with the fact that he didn't consent to that. That's the thing that just really is so out of pocket of how to handle this whole thing because they're trying to treat it like that's not what happened. Oh, I was just sleeping with some girl, whatever, and it just happens to be the wrong one. Like that's how they're treating it, and I think that's the part that's just so goddamn dismissive. Um, there's a point where Beth is there, and I think Carter's like, I'm gonna talk to Liam alone, right? And Beth and Hope go into the designer's room where nobody is designing anything and talks to Ivy. And Ivy's like, "Oh, I try to be with Liam and I want to sit there and be with him. But the only person that Liam is in love with is you." And then they keep bringing back the fact that, well, you and him got a daughter together. And I'm like, that's not enough of a reason to sit there and try again with him. But I feel like Hope is not being 100% honest with her feelings, and I've disliked Hope since you can see that Hope is a user, right? She didn't. She How long has she worked with Carter and never actually saw him in anything other than just a colleague? The minute he was not there fighting for her to keep her job, oh, then she just started having feelings out of nowhere, right? What happened when he gave back the company? She act like she didn't even know him, right? But now she's with him. But let's be honest, Carter can't really do that much for her. Steffi's the one that hired her back. So without much use for Carter, you're kind of just like, oh yeah, I forgot. And Carter, sat there telling Liam and no uncertain and pretty much sat there saying that he's gonna marry her. Like, listen, she's the woman who I'm going to marry. Like, let's just get that shit straight right now. But he doesn't say it in a way where it's like he doesn't say it in a way where it's argumentative or confrontational. It's more passive aggressive the way he comes at Liam. Then he goes back in the room. Beth is all like, "Oh, I love my family being together, and it's so great when you two are together." Just really driving that whole she wants her parents back together. And Liam's like, "Hey, listen, I know that you're engaged with him, but he's not the guy for you. He's a nice guy. He's just not for you." He's like, "He is." And she just, does that usual blank stare on her face, like, Oh, and she also says, "I'm glad I'm the only person that's for you." Electra to Will after they finish making love, which is such a cringy thing to sit there and say. I'm surprised that soap stars or soap people still use that word. I mean, granted, I get it. They don't have to be all like raunchy with it, but make love? Seriously? I mean, yeah, that may work in like Jane Austen books or whatever, but like, ugh. I'm not gonna lie, it really just shows you just the level of like how the times have changed. And she's all like, "Ooh, we're together, and I'm just so happy that we waited for such a long time." And I'm just like, I know that their girls aren't really raunchy and they are sweet like that, but they're not like Like they didn't step out of a goddamn like 1980s romance novel. It's like everything has to be so accentuated. Like we're making love and we're doing. It's like if I was with, well, first of all, I wouldn't be with someone like that. But if I was with someone and they kept sitting there doing, that would drive me up a goddamn wall. You know, it's like we can see. We don't need to hear you say every single thing that is coming. It's like act with your feelings. You don't need to sit there and describe every single thing to us. If we're watching this, that means that we're not visually impaired. We can see you. Your job is to sit there and act it out. Just where we don't have to, and you know what I'm saying, and give us a minute to interpret it instead of just like telling us every single step of how she's feeling and her love and this and that. It's like, God damn, just show it. Stop telling so much. Okay, now I feel like I'm pretty much kind of done. Yeah, okay, I'm done. Anyway, with that being said, I'm gonna go. If I missed anything, write in the comment section below. I'm not doing the stream tonight, but I will be back tomorrow. And yeah, hopefully I can sit there and start doing more of these reviews. Yeah, share the videos. Share this video. It does help. And yeah, I'll see you on tomorrow's live stream.